What's up, fish man? You good?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, so let's do that. Okay. Because
What's going on, brothers? This is Clarence Jr. And over the weekend, I did something that was out of my norm, something that I have never done before. And that is I went to a men's conference. Not just any men's conference. I went to the men's conference that my church was throwing. And honestly, as you can see from some of the stuff at the beginning, it was very interesting, impactful, and it was also fun. So we had three well-accomplished, serious Christian men, all who reached the tops of their industries, made a whole lot of money, got a whole lot of recognition, and most importantly, lived a Christian lifestyle and have beautiful families. So we have the first brother, fire chief in Atlanta, gets promoted to the top position in that field, working under Obama's White House. Then goes back to Atlanta and is the fire chief again. Writes a Christian book. People don't like that he writes a Christian book, so he gets fired. Then the city of Atlanta has to settle with him for wrongful termination. This is a very well-traveled, well-accomplished man, beautiful family. Then we have Mike Locksley, who I'm familiar with because he's the head football coach at the University of Maryland. But what I did not know was that he originally played football at Towson and basketball. Then he was assistants at different places. I didn't know he was a head coach before, but he was a head coach at the University of New Mexico. And it went terribly wrong. When I say terribly wrong, I mean he was there for 2.5 seasons and won 2 games. Now, a college football season is between 10 and 12 games. So to win 2 in 2.5 years, it went terribly wrong. He was fired. He was embarrassed. Had to work his way back up the ladder and gets to Alabama, is the he's the offensive coordinator at Alabama. They wound up winning the national championship with him being the offensive coordinator. But throughout the course of that, he has a son who is murdered out here in Maryland at 25 years old. But makes it through all of that. And now is the head coach at the University of Maryland. And they've had several successful seasons. You talking about failure, you talking about pain, you talking about loss, all of that. Made it through. Beautiful wife, beautiful family. Then we had James Brown, the sports broadcaster that's been on CBS, NFL Today for like the longest time in the Sports Journalism Hall of Fame. Same thing. 30, 40 years at his profession, Hall of Famer, made millions of dollars, man of God, beautiful wife and family. And you have these men talking to you, encouraging you, telling you to keep going, keep pushing. And they're showing you that, hey, it's not all sunshines and rainbows. You're going to have ups and downs. You're going to have trials and tribulations. You're going to go through trauma. You could be fired. You could fail publicly. You could lose a child, a wife, a job. All kinds of things can happen to you. But if you're handling your business, you can and you will also be successful. This is an all-day thing from 9 o'clock Saturday, 9 a.m. Saturday to 3:30 Saturday. And you know what never came up? What's wrong with these black women, these modern women? That never came up. Holding Keisha accountable and women's body count and changing the laws and what's wrong with marriage and 50-50. None of that nonsense came up. You know what else never came up? oh, what's wrong with the white man? And he got his foot on my neck and I can't do this and I can't do that. And ADOS, FBA, and oh, he's a tether. None of that's, Joe Biden never came up. Donald Trump never, none of that stuff came up. It was singularly focused on you as a man taking on what you need to do, bettering yourself, improving yourself by following God's instructions. We had 3 examples directly in front of us that shows you the end results of following what the Bible says, doing what God says to do. And really it was more than that. Bro, it was over 800 men in there. Serious men. And even when we were maybe playing certain games during the breaks or during lunch or playing pool or whatever we were doing, I didn't hear one conversation about Keisha. I didn't hear one conversation about all the marriage laws and my baby mama did. None of that. Singularly focused on you and what you're doing as a man. You know, take from that what you want to take from that. But once again, all I'm going to tell you is this. Serious men about their business, trying to move forward. They don't have all these conversations that you see on YouTube or on TikTok, on these podcasts. They're not talking about what's wrong with women, holding women accountable, the marriage laws, 50-50. Oh, what's your body count? They're not talking about any of that stuff. They're not gender war or culture war. They're solely focused on improving themselves as a man. And that's what I would suggest for you. And that's what I'm doing as well.